Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the October 9th, 2025 meeting of the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Task Force of the town of Trumbull. My name is Jonathan Trop, as at least everybody I'm looking at knows, and I have the pleasure to welcome you to our meeting. I'll call the meeting to order at 7:32 p.m., and I would invite everybody please to join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Rick got in by the hair of his chin. The roll call should reflect, Madam Clerk, that all members of EDIT are in attendance. And we are joined as well by Jennifer Winchell, the Town Council Liaison, yourself, Council Jim Cordone, and Bill Chin. Next up on the agenda is correspondence. We have received one item of correspondence. It came in relatively recently, and I circulated it just before this meeting. I don't know if folks had a chance to see that, and I apologize that it arrived rather late. Let me briefly describe it. And my proposal, actually, I'm delighted we actually have full attendance, which I think gives us freedom of action, is to ask that when we get to new business, we have if folks want to do it, a motion to discuss the correspondence and at least see if we can make a little bit of headway. See if I can find it. The correspondence we received was from I'm gonna manage to make this hard. From Jenny Zambrano, who's the president of SEPTA, who came and spoke with us a couple of months ago. And for those who haven't seen her email, although I'm now having trouble scrolling, she wrote to us, hoping, of course, that she finds us well, thanking us for the opportunity for dialogue over the summer, and reaching out to us for our attention and support in connection with a pertinent and crucial matter that is on the horizon for our specialized resource program, children and their families. And I don't know why I'm having trouble scrolling on this, but undoubtedly user error. Let me find it from a different source. She says on September 22, 2025, the attached letter was received by all parents detailing that in the next school year, 2026-2027, the Trumbull School District will implement an ARC initiative that will provide teachers time to collaborate and analyze their caseloads. During this time, the children would be sent home early. Total potential decrease of instructional hours is estimated to be a little more than 40 hours for this vulnerable group. Not only do we see this as discrimination against a specific population, but we also feel it goes against the full length of days regulation for all students required in Connecticut, and more importantly, doesn't abide by each child's individualized educational plan. We appreciate any support the EDIT task force can provide. Let us know if you have any questions. And then she attaches a letter that obviously was received by parents as described. I don't know why I'm having such technical difficulties. The letter, which I won't read in its entirety, is more or less as she summarizes, sent by Dean Catalano, Director of PPS of the Trumbull Public Schools, and advising of this intended change in the schedule. That's the only correspondence that we've received, and I do think that it is worthy of our discussion. And so my hope is that when we get to new business, someone will make a motion that we entertain it. Bill, would you inquire about comment from the public, please?
Sure. There are no members of the public in attendance at this time.
Okay, thank you. With that, we'll move on to approval of the minutes of September 11th, 2025. Let me sort of share with you review the bidding on that. So as everybody knows, our faithful clerk was abroad at our last meeting. We had a substitute clerk who prepared the minutes in a somewhat different style, but among other things, I don't know that she circulated them to this entire group. They were posted on the town website as required in a form that, at least in my view, required some editing, not the least of which was that she misspelled my name. And so I recirculated as I edited them this evening for your consideration, and would invite a motion to approve the minutes as circulated just before the meeting. And if there's a motion and a second, we can have discussion.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as circulated from September 11th, 2025.
Okay. For a second?
Yeah, I'll second the
I
motion.
think you seconded, but you're on mute.
I second the motion.
All right, so we'll go to the first member who I could hear. So I don't know if folks have had an adequate chance to consider the minutes as revised. Does anybody want to discuss them or express any concerns with the revisions or anything else? Shala.
This is minor, but with regard to name spelling, my last name is spelled correctly in a couple places, but incorrectly in a couple places. And so if it could be updated to M's in all places, that would be great.
Certainly, and I apologize that I missed that when I reviewed. So certainly, I think, can we agree unanimously that the motion is amended to approve the minutes with that additional revision?
I was not present, so I'm assuming I have to abstain.
You can yeah, fine, that's fair. But can we have unanimous consent to amend the motion? David, I think you can vote on that.
Yes.
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 So the motion on the table now is to approve the minutes of our September meeting as circulated, but further corrected to correct the spelling of Shala's surname. Any further discussion?
I'm sorry, can I just ask a question? Because we haven't done it before, so do I need to resubmit the minutes as corrected to Patty Zablocki?
Yeah, I mean, Jim can correct me, but I think if the motion is approved, we would ask that the revised minutes be substituted for the inaccurate minutes that have been posted.
Okay, thanks.
That is correct.
Jennifer?
Would it be possible for me to be put on the list that gets these minutes? I have no minutes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All right, so in addition to David, I think, Chris, you were absent from the last meeting. So I assume we'll have 2 abstentions, but I'll call for a vote on the pending motion. Can you take that down for a minute, Rodney?
That was all I had.
All in favor? Okay, Rodney, I see your vote. You're in favor?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so unanimous with 2 abstentions, and thank you very much. Joanne, would you correct the spelling of Fleming and then submit it? Thank you. Okay. Rodney, I'm not sure what you were throwing up on the screen. Is that something that you wanted us to talk about under new business, or? I'm going to just move on.
Yes,
Next item.
my apologies.
Okay. Next item on our agenda is approval of the townwide survey for distribution. That maybe is a little bit generic. Here's what here's where I think we are, again, sort of to review the bidding. As you all know, we've been working on this survey over a period of months. The last time it came before the meeting in September, it had been lightly edited, I think, from August. And so I proposed that everybody have the opportunity to sit with it over the last month. Expectation that it would come back before us tonight for a vote to move it along. And so what I would suggest, I would call for a motion to approve the survey and to send it to the administration for its input and advice on distribution and assistance with distribution, assuming that we can agree on a final survey with the administration. And so if someone would make a motion along those lines and there's a second, we can have discussion about whether any further changes to the survey are required or if that motion can be approved.
I make a motion to vote on the survey such that it could be advanced to the administration.
Okay, is there a second?
I second that motion.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody need for me to throw it up on the screen? I think everyone's got it now, and it has not changed since September. We put it on the calendar for October because fidelity to the Robert's Rules of Order, I wanted to have a noticed motion. So we've got one, and is there any discussion or anything further we need to do? Otherwise, I'm happy to call for a vote and send it off to the administration for their views. All right, hearing no discussion, all in favor? All right, that's unanimous. I will take the homework assignment and send it off. And thank you all. I'm pretty happy with how that has at least come out from our committee, and I look forward to seeing it advance. On the subject of hoping to see things advance, I'll move on to old business and the diversity training update. I guess I will say progress. I don't really feel like it. There have been some emails in the last couple of weeks in which Tom McCarthy now has tried to get this thing scheduled for December, and sought as well to have another portion of the town trained in October, a couple of weeks from now, as a result of some recognition of a need that he didn't define, and I don't know. I didn't see any response from the trainers, and so I'm just so frustrated that we can't seem to get all of these busy people rowing in the same boat at the same time. Shala or Rodney, does one of you want to, after this meeting, respond to all and maybe see if we can get David to respond to Tom and at least get the December thing on the calendar, if not the October?
I'm happy to do that.
Thank you. Any further discussion on this?
Well, I thought I saw,
close, but we can't quite get over the line.
Can you hear me okay? I know it's always an issue with me.
At the moment, yes.
Great. I thought I saw correspondence or response from David saying that what his availability was during in the December timeframe. And then I thought I
I
saw
think December.
Yeah, and then Tom said that he was trying to do something a little sooner, like a half course or something of that nature, and then no response came from that.
He was trying to add an October event for a different group while lining up the December event for the cabinet as was intended. And there was no response to that. So I don't know that the December date is nailed down and it may get lost again. And I
Okay,
don't know if the October date is possible. And
yeah,
so, sadly, we remain sort of in the middle trying to get this over the finish line.
okay. So we'll do it. Okay, Shala, thank you for volunteering to follow up again.
Any further discussion on that one? Okay. Next up under old business is the book club. Shala, David, and his wife, and I and my wife, among others, attended the book club meeting this past Monday, discussing So You Want to Talk About Race. I thought that it was an interesting and engaging discussion. We happened to find a topic that Shala is expert on, and so I enjoyed that. And I will offer first David, because Shala could go on longer, the opportunity to comment on the book club.
I found the conversation engaging. I thought it kind of went off on tangents at times that I had not expected to happen, and I thought that the dialogue surrounding those tangents was fascinating. I learned a whole lot more about Shala's background and her her dissertation, which still love to read at some point. But I'm glad I read the book. I didn't quite get to the end. I'm still got like 3 chapters to go, but it was I thought it was a good discussion on Monday night.
Shala, anything you would like to add?
I thought it was a great conversation as well. I appreciated that some of our consistent book club attendees continue to be consistent attendees. There was at least, I think, 2 faces I had not seen previously at other book clubs. And so it's always nice to see new folks who get to come and be a part of it. And I find often that the conversations tend to veer a bit away from the book into other things, but I think that's okay, because it's always connected in some way to like people's lived experiences and how they're making sense of the book in that context. And so I thought it was a good discussion.
And the only thing I would add is that there was at least one, maybe more than one attendee who regularly joins us, who lives in Shelton. And she observed that Shelton does not have a committee like this, and thanked us for having the book club, and commended the town of Trumbull for the mission that has been assigned to us. So I wanted to share that with all of you. Under the same book club topic, now looking forward to the next one, assuming again that we want to continue, the next book club event would likely be January-ish, could be February. We have been contemplating a selection on anti-Semitism or Judaism, and the 3 books that I'm aware of that I think have been under consideration are Uncomfortable Conversations with a Jew by Emmanuel, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, Acho. People Love Dead Jews by Dara Horn, and Anti-Semitism Here and Now by Deborah Lipstadt. I don't know if I have forgotten any that we've been talking about, or if anybody has a additional book they want to throw into the ring, but I would invite any comments. My hope is that we'll assuming we all decide we want to do this again, as I assume, that we'll pick one of those and can start to publicize it and read it. Thoughts, comments? So,
Sorry, Jonathan, quick question. I've got the list up from a year ago, year and a half ago. Has it been an updated list that includes this title?
no, no, I don't think so. This is a consequence of our conversations over the course of the last 2 or 3 months and emails with the library about their recommendations and book availability as we have been considering the topic. Shalom, am I correct to infer from sort of the sequence of communications that you were leaning towards uncomfortable conversations with a Jew?
That is, yes, that is my personal preference, but I think all of them certainly could be good choices.
Okay.
Sorry, I will
I
just
don't-
say I feel like for me the readability of Emmanuel Acho's book, it's just like a little bit more engaging. It's like conversational, and the others are a little bit more sort of academic and maybe a little denser to
Am I
read.
correct to understand that Acho's book is kind of a dialogue between a Jew and a non-Jew, so that it expands our perspectives?
Yes.
So I would support that selection as well if others are on board. I don't mean to take for granted that we'll do a book on this topic or even that we'll do a book. So if anybody has an objection to either of those things, feel free to raise it. But otherwise, any further thoughts?
Have we set a date for the book club meeting?
We'll work with the library and pick a. Presumably it'll be a Monday. It almost always is a Monday. That is far enough out for them to publicize it, get the books in, etc. So I suspect it'll be a 2026 event, whether that's January or February, and find out what the library's availability is. We'll lock it down.
Got it.
All right. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, so we'll advance that one. Okay, next up under old business, we had talked, I think in August, about maybe even in July as well, the goal of having at least certain department leaders meet with us periodically, annually or more frequently. And David had taken a turn at drafting an email that I had told you at the last meeting. I hope to find a chance to edit, no pun. And unfortunately, I didn't find that chance until this evening, but I did find it before our meeting. And so, David, unless you have an objection to that, I'm going to just throw up on the screen the version that I'm working with here, and
I
let
think what you wrote
people
is fine. Yeah.
consider it. So bear with me. Are people now able to see my screen over here? Okay, so I'll give everybody a chance to read it, and for the sake of anybody who might actually just be listening to us, I'll read it out loud as well for the benefit of the videotape. Dear fill in the blank, on behalf of the Town of Trumbull Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Task Force, I would like to invite you and/or your delegee to join our meetings periodically to discuss your efforts, successes, and obstacles related to our mission and how we and others can help you to achieve your goals. The committee meets once per month, currently on the second Thursday of each month at 7:30 p.m. by Zoom. And we hope that you will agree to join us for a portion of one of our meetings in 2026 and at least annually thereafter. Please let us know a convenient time to speak with you briefly to discuss this invitation. Very truly yours, and then I would send it out on behalf of the committee. My thinking, as distinct from what David had sent, is that ideally we'll kind of float the idea that this is not a one-time invitation, but a recurrent event. Anybody have any comments, concerns, thoughts, or revisions on the draft? If not, I'll go back to our minutes where we agreed on who would get it and send it out. Okay. I will probably not send, I'm not going to send it tonight. I know that for sure. So if anybody has a comment or concern upon reflection, let me know. I circulated, I'm sorry, I didn't. I will circulate this draft in writing for everybody to take a look at and throw rocks at, and then get it out. Any further discussion under this topic? Okay. We come to new business, and there's nothing on the agenda, but I would welcome anybody who wants to bring something to us, and in particular, if anybody wants to make a motion to have a discussion concerning the letter from the president of SEPTA, I would be glad to have that conversation for a few minutes.
I make a motion to engage in a conversation based on the letter we received from the president of SEPTA.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion of that? All in favor? All right, unanimous. So without intending to foreclose other kinds of conversation, here's the thought that occurred to me and that I wanted to raise for our consideration. I appreciate that the folks from SEPTA are very concerned about this proposed change in the calendar and in the availability of resources and programming for students. I do not fully understand or appreciate from either their email or the letter what the impact is or might be. And more importantly, I cannot understand or determine what efforts, if any, they have made to address this issue and what the response has been. And so my proposal is that we engage in a conversation with the folks at SEPTA and investigate to understand this better so that we know if we want to help and how, if so, how we might help. But Shala, you have maybe a different view?
Not a different view, but an update. So I follow the SEPTA Facebook page, and so they actually received a response from Director Catalano, and the action is not happening as described anymore. And my understanding is that the members of SEPTA did reach out, try to have conversations. There were several letters sent to the Board of Education, parents who were expressing their concern, and the district has been responsive to that. And so there was another letter sent out, I believe on October 7th, that it is no longer going forward as originally described. And so I think, or at least I guess that Jenny sent this to us prior to knowing that was going to be the outcome, but that is now the outcome. However, I do think it is potentially helpful for us to have a conversation about if something like this does come our way, what role do we play? What actions do we take or might we take if things like this are being surfaced for us?
Okay, fair. Well, thank you for the update. I'm glad to have that good news and to learn that they were listened to. That frankly was part of my concern. I didn't want to, jump into the middle of something half-cocked and unnecessarily. So I do think it makes sense, as you suggest, to talk further with the folks from SEPTA. And I suppose one way to do that is to invite them back to our next meeting. There may be other or different ways to do that. What do folks think?
I agree that we should get the folks to come back to talk to us and give us more, to give more insight about what's happening. But I'm also intrigued to see if we can get that director to come in and speak as well, or meet with her. It kind of ties into that email that's going to be sent out. Because he's in a department here, correct?
I don't know that he's a department head. I assume he is within the education department. I don't know enough about him or his role or anything about what he was trying to do to think that it's right to have him come to a meeting. And for a variety of reasons, it's probably not the right next step. But inviting the folks from SEPTA to understand their perspective, I think would inform us, and we can go from there. Does that make sense to folks?
And how it was resolved. You know, what actually happened in the end.
Okay. I assume that they will be glad to know that we received their email and took it seriously, and will be happy to engage with us. Shala, not to overload your plate, but would you mind reaching out to Jenny Zambrano and see if she wants to join us in November?
Yes, I can definitely do that. Do I need to, should that be in response to the communication we received, or am I okay to reach out to her like by phone or text?
Oh, I think it's fine for you to reach out separately.
Okay, I will do that.
On behalf of the committee, I can respond to her and tell her that we discussed her letter and you'll be reaching out to her.
Sounds good.
Okay. Anybody else have any other business to discuss this evening?
Yes, that's what I was multitasking, trying to send out my event that I'm doing on November 1st at the Bridgeport Islamic Community Center. To have an update that we have a criminal defense attorney that's going to be joining the panel. Her name is Audrey Felton. Again, that's going to be the panel is going to be actually with the trainers that's going to be working with our town. That will be Lorenzo Boyd and David Schroeder and State Senator Sajada Wilcox. And I just wanted to quickly talk about what this campaign is about, to give an overview. So it's going to be, let's read off my screen so I won't put it on this screen and mess up again. So I have it up on my other screen. So basically it's to present a conversation about rights, responsibility, and a reason for within our legal season. The panel will explore the importance of D&I policies, including certain protections and responsibilities of governance within our communities and how they impact the way we are governed. The idea is to learn more about the resolute policies that underscore diversity, equity, and inclusion that largely protect Black, Indigenous people of color from unfair and unbiased treatment, unfair biases and treatment. I just want to add also, I've been out in Bridgeport, Stratford, Trumbull, Fairfield, about close to 10 days, talking to the community. I mean, it ranges from psychic businesses and people who do that type of work, or barbershops, dentist offices, local grocery stores, laundromats, and just talking to community about the importance of the work. And it was very engaging. People want to learn and know more about where all this is going in our administration, what policies look like prior to this previous administration, what they may fear or be nervous about coming up. So that's what the Brave Conversation is going to be about. November 1st, 3:30 to 5. at the Bridgeport Islamic Community Center. And if anybody from the Equity and Diversity and Inclusion Task Force would like to be, join us, I would greatly welcome you all and possibly have some dialogue about that in our next meeting in November.
Thank you. Any other new business? Okay, then I would invite one last motion.
I move to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
David, thank you. All in favor? Thank you, everybody. That'll conclude the meeting. Again, urge people to RSVP for the board and commissions dinner, and I hope to see some of you there. And Rodney, with my trial canceled, maybe I'll be able to join you now on November 1st and see some folks there too.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Take care, everyone.